Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Gran Turismo 7 money making methods and builds. Now I did get a request the other day on my previous video, which was the Audi R8, which was an LMS replica, and basically a lot of people are asking for what is the outright fastest money methods for all of the grinds. So today I'm going to be covering Sardegna with its fastest money method, and it's a bit of a pain because this car is completely bugged currently. So if you haven't got one at the minute, there's a high chance you're still going to be waiting until Polyphony fixes the whole legendary car system, which is where this one will appear. So we are using the Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak, but it has not been in there since July. I do want to give a shout out to the livery that I'm using. So it's made by Ricky Racing. So if you do want to go and grab that one, you can check him out here. His name is literally Ricky Racing within GT7. It's an absolutely amazing livery, so thank you for this one. Now in terms of the build, you're only going to need to run the racing medium tyres. You don't need to touch anything else. This build was originally by AMS Dude, and it has literally stood the test of time as one of the best builds in the game. So in terms of your suspension, you need the body height at 88 and 115 with the anti-roll bar at 10 at the front, 1 at the rear. Compression is going to be 40 for both, with the expansion at 50 for both. Natural frequency at the front is 5.00 and 4.25 at the rear. Negative camber angle will be next, and it's 1.5 at the front, 1.7 at the rear. No toe angle at all on this build. On the LSD side of things, it's initial torque at 5 for both. Then the acceleration sensitivity is 30 at the front, 20 at the rear. Braking sensitivity is 60 across the board. Just down here we have the torque vector and differential. You can edit this on the fly, so feel free to play around with that if the 50-50 split isn't exactly what you want. We have the fully customizable racing transmission installed on this car, and as you can see, it's going to be set to 320, and then the individual gears are going to be set to as such. So it's 3.875 over 127, 2.860 over 172, 2.270 over 217, 1.880 over 263, 1.615 over 306, and then on the 6th gear we have it at 1.400 over 366 with a final drive of 2.125. You will need to edit the final drive first and then edit the individual gears from there. In terms of the ballast and power restrictor, we're actually not running anything. So you are not ballasting this and you are not restricting any power, hence the whopping 1186 brake horsepower. From the front, the downforce is going to be 204, and at the rear it is 700, so the maximum and pretty much the minimum. High RPM turbocharger strapped to this one, and then as you can see, the rest of the build literally needs nothing else. Feel free to pause and copy these settings. So I'm actually going to cover myself here and just say that you may need to make sure that you maintain this car. It seems to take oil every other run. I didn't maintain my oil here, so my lap time was around about 2 to 2.5 seconds off what it should actually be. In terms of the event, you want to head into Europe and go over to the right hand side to Sardegna road track. Not the windmills, you won't find this event here, and then go all the way over to the right hand side to the World Touring Car 800. It's the 15 lap event, you cannot miss it. Just go ahead and enter that one. So like I said, credit for this build goes to AMS Dude. He made this build probably about 6 to 7 months ago at this point, and it's been many people's go-to on Sardegna for the longest time. So if anyone actually leaves a comment and basically turns around and says that, you know, the car's not available, well, it's not been available since July. So if you haven't got one currently, there's a high chance you're not going to get one until Polyphony fixes the whole legendary car system, which currently affects the Ford Roadster and the Suzuki Escudo Pikes Peak. So you could be waiting a while for that. But this is just to show how fast and what is the fastest method at Sardegna, which is 100% the Escudo. Currently, it's just such a reliable car. It's such an easy strategy. Very straightforward, very simple, and that's the whole point of this video. So yes, this is outright the fastest at Sardegna. People will probably tell you otherwise, but in all honesty, they're wrong. This is literally rapid in comparison, more so than kind of like the likes of the Toyota hypercar. When that originally came in, that was very quick round here, and we obviously had the very fast Tomahawk road going version, which is a Tomahawk S way back in the day, that was running here. Since then, those are kind of, you know, faded out. The hypercars had tons of changes and such, and the Escudo has basically just been untouched for the longest time at this point. Polyphony have not really messed around with the PP system. It does require you to drive it in a specific way, but like I said, the whole strategy behind it is super simple and super easy. So let's go and get into that now. So in terms of the strategy, you want to put it straight at fuel mix 4, and that is going to be it for the event. You don't have to change any of the fuel mixes at this point. Now in terms of actually driving it, I fully recommend just shifting before it's fully at its red line. The only thing you need to watch for with this car is turbo lag. It has a ton of it, and it will basically just kick the power in all at once, and there is a high chance it will throw you into the barrier. Now in terms of, you know, suiting your driving style, you can do that with the torque vector and differential. You can do that on the fly by kind of going through pressing a D-pad and stuff on your wheel or controller to kind of go through the settings and do it on the fly, so you can get more rear end if you want, or you can get the 50-50 split, or you can go for, you know, obviously, you know, towards the front and such. So it's completely up to you how you run this. Personally, I would actually prefer to get a bit more rear on it, kind of slide your way through the corners. Whilst it's not always the fastest way to go about it, it's definitely the most comfortable way to kind of tackle those tight bends. In terms of difficulty, I recommend actually running hard difficulty for this. This is because, you know, the traffic on the lower difficulties, you'll be hitting them a ton of times. You'll pretty much lap the whole grid on easy 2 to 3 times. So obviously you don't really want to be choking yourself up in the middle of traffic. The main thing you want to do is just put it on hard. You will lap pretty much everyone anyway and not have to worry about them. Now this isn't the best run. Like I said, I didn't maintain the car properly. I completely forgot to change the oil, so my lap time is around about 2.5 seconds off. On average, your lap time when it is fully maintained and such should roughly be around about a 126 to a 128, around that area. I was running mainly kind of 129s to 132s without the oil change. So yes, there is a lot of power loss there if you don't maintain this car. In terms of taking the lead, you'll probably do it around about lap 2, even on the hardest difficulty. Very, very easy. At this point, you don't have to worry about the AI, and then you're going to kind of wait for your first pit stop. So if you've been driving it correctly, you should pit at the end of lap 5 without having, you know, running out of fuel. It can happen if you rev it far too much. It will drink fuel. You don't want to be doing that. But take your first pit stop at the end of lap 5, go ahead and basically throw another set of mediums on and fill the car to full, because we're essentially going to rinse and repeat the exact same strategy 2 times. So you'll be doing a 2-stop with this car, and it will basically be the same strategy each time. You won't need to mess around with the fuel. You'll be taking a pair of mediums each set of mediums each time, and you'll be filling the car to full each of your pit stops. So once you've done that, head back out on track. Just be careful when you come out the pits, because the AI will come absolutely flying down there and they will clatter into you. They are not bothered at Sardegna. It's kind of been a running joke at this point that the AI just really don't care. If you're coming out the pits, they will ram into you if they are on that straight. So again, at the end of lap 10, just take your second pit stop. This is going to be your final pit stop of the race, and you're essentially just going to rinse and repeat. Like I said, you're going to put a new set of fresh mediums on, you're going to fill the car to full, and you should basically be good to go all the way until the end. So once you've done your final sprint, you'll be coming up to the finish line on lap 15 of your final lap. As you can see, we've got just enough fuel to go in. I could have realistically pushed a bit harder, and that is going to be the event over and done with. Now, realistically, you can get the very low 23-minute time. I'm not sure if anyone's actually got in the 23 minutes. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do it so far, but you can expect a very low 23 at the least, especially if you're maintaining the engine on this car. So as you can see, even with kind of rough oil in this car, we did a 129.068 on lap 15. We lapped all the cars at least once, and an overall time of 23.47. In terms of your payout, it is the lowest paying of the grinding events. However, it's super easy and super straightforward, so as to be expected, you're going to be earning a little bit less. 727,500 credits for your time, and that is going to be it. It's a super simple, super easy method. If you do have an Escudo sat around and you've never bothered to go and grind with it at Sardegna, it's very much kind of the go-to event for the Escudo. Originally it was kind of, you know, a lot of people use it at Tokyo or on the 700 event. It can do them all. The only one it struggles with, if you kind of take this build over to the Spa 800, is it doesn't have headlights. So at night time it may kind of require you to play about with the brightness in game and stuff. stuff to be able to kind of see where you're going. So I wouldn't recommend actually taking it to Spa. The main one you want to grind at really is Sardegna, and you can also do Tokyo as well. So there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn your notifications on so you don't miss an upload from me. I upload GT7 and motorsport content each and every day for your viewing pleasure. I have my Twitter, my Discord, and all that good stuff in the description down below. Thank you to my sponsors, the Controller People and Poggers, for supporting the channel, as well as my channel members and you guys that watch every day. Big thank you to AMS Dude. I have his link in the description down below. He is the original founder of this tune, and it's been around for the longest time. I'll see you later on, guys. Peace.